in my last live stream about cryptocurrency. So I'm gonna do a quick live stream for you guys interested in finance. If you see any comments, just read them to me out loud, please. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I say my what I recommend, what I would do myself right now, and what I did about a week or so ago. I sold pretty much half of my crypto. I moved it into Tether. I tethered it. I moved it into USDT. So I kind of moved out of crypto to fiat for possible volatility. What I do right now, because I'm a passive investor, I'm no longer really active in crypto. So because I don't check my portfolio like every day, I moved most of my holdings to one or two major coins. Now personally, I hold BNB and pretty much sold all my other coins. I also hold some smaller coins which are just there as lottery tickets. One person asked me about NLC2. That one I actually lost. That's a fun story because I lost access to a place where I was staking it. I made a really big mistake. So what ended up happening is I was using VPS, a virtual private server, for staking my wallet because I like the 4% annual return. But it turns out it was a really stupid decision because I was doing some hippie stuff, I was offline, I wasn't checking my emails, and my credit card switched, or debit card switched, so they couldn't process my payment. They sent me some email notifications that I'll lose access, and I didn't obviously check the mail, I was pretty stupid. In a matter of 2.5 months, they canceled my account, they deleted everything, and when I got back to using internet, when I got back to checking my emails, I realized that I didn't make the new payment. They deleted my account, and I couldn't have access to anything there. Now I backed up my wallet, but the issue is most people don't know this. When you use a Qt wallet, or for most coins have their own chain, like most specifically proof of stake coins that use their own wallets. They have some sort of a Qt fork, and it's called a Qt wallet. It's one of those like ugly looking wallets you use for staking on your desktop. You download from their website for whatever coin you use, and they ask you to make a backup. But what they don't tell you is that every time you deposit more coins, you have to make a fresh backup because it creates a random address. Especially if you add a new receiving address, you have to back up your wallet again. So I added a new receiving address. I received a bunch of coin, and I didn't back it up again. So when I lost access to the VPS, even though I had a backup, on a piece of paper, that was a backup for the first address I created, not the second one. So that ended up being the new address, which I had most of my holdings in NLC2, which is a proof of stake wallet using, it has a Qt wallet for staking on my desktop. I ended up losing most of my NLC2 holdings, so I'm not active in NLC2 community anymore because I just barely hold any NLC2 anymore. I'm not buying it, so which means I'm not bullish for NLC2 at the moment. I'm pretty neutral. That's pretty much all I can comment. If I believed it was going to go down, it's irrelevant for me. If I believed it was going to go up strongly, I would have purchased more. So I do not believe it's going to go up strongly in this short time. And basically, that's my current stance on NLC2, which I used to talk a lot about. I don't think anything bad about the project. I don't think anything good about the project. I'm just neutral, and I haven't lose all my coins, so I don't have any stake. I don't have any money in it. I'm pretty not unactive right now, so that means I'm not interested in purchasing more coins, which means I'm not gonna go ahead and research much about what's happening in the NLC2 community. It's been pretty slow for about a year, so I lost most of my interest. Anyway, going back to the...
Salim says hi.
Oh, hey Salim. Thanks for commenting. If you want to talk anything about cryptocurrency or any of your coins, now is the time. I'm going to be online for another maybe 5-10 minutes. I'll see how long I feel like talking. So if you got any questions, now is a good time to comment live. I'm going to try and do these live streams, at least one about like just fears, emotions, and living a happy, crazy life. And maybe one financial live stream, maybe once every week or every other week. So now's the best time to ask anything about finance, which we can give me some topics to talk about. What I was originally making this video for is going to say that I believe short-term Bitcoin will go down. Most people are very bullish right now. Most people are like super excited about all these fiat currencies, like dollars being pretty much printed, like how to help their money, and you have pretty much any world currencies being printed like crazy right now, which means inflation is going up. So theoretically, gold price and Bitcoin price should go up. But when most people believe a price is going to go up, I say it's going to go down. So what happened about a week ago, I really strongly believed, for example, BNB was going to crash to like $10. It was around $13 or 14. It had like a small jump to 15. I sold most of my holdings there, like half of my BNB, which is one of my biggest holdings right now, because it's a blue chip investment in my opinion. I don't have to like worry about it too much and check it every day. But that was a mistake. I was following the crowd, and everyone believed it was going to Bitcoin price was going to crash, back down to what, like $5,000, $6,000, low $6,000, maybe mid $5,000, and I believed, but most people believed, and it went in the other direction. Now Bitcoin right now is at 7,000, and I had this urge to buy, and then I realized, I was like, okay, I'm following the crowd mentality again, which means this time it's actually gonna fall, because this time I felt like entering back in. Right now BNB is over $16. I sold a lot around $15, which means I'm theoretically in a loss if we're gonna look at my potential gains, my potential profit, and theoretically. But since I feel like re-entering the market, I'm gonna pretty much analyze my emotions and try to trade against my emotions. I believe trading against your emotions is a really safe way to invest. I mean, safer than most investments, because most people lose, most emotional decisions are wrong. So doing reverse psychology and reverse logic, theoretically, I assume there's a really strong chance we'll have a short-term drop in price, which means, yes, I'm not gonna enter the market. I'm gonna place low buy orders for probably Bitcoin around like 58, 5,900, 5,900, or BNB about like what, $10, Ethereum like what, 120ish, 130, whatever. Like is a low figure that happened the last month or so, and just aim at just like lures, just set a trap. If it hits, it hits. If not, I have my money is sitting in those USDT, so it's not the end of the world. I have money. It's there. I can spend it easily. It's low risk.
Salam asked if you can tell him some simple concepts about crypto. He doesn't know much.
Okay. Well, I guess the simplest way to put it is, I believe at least half of your net worth should be in crypto, because that is a really strong possibility of being the future of money. So either possibility number one is, in my opinion, cryptocurrencies go up in price because everything that's online is moving online. Everything that's not online will be online. That's just how the world functions. Things that are offline will be cherished more. So you can either go hardcore offline business, like food production, and focus on like organic food, and that's kind of a trend right now. But also a trend is digitalization of everything, VR, video games, and everything. Pretty much video game currencies. So most currencies are either digital already, but the issue is the biggest reason people believe in crypto is the fact that people do not believe in governments anymore, and people do not believe in banks anymore. And I mean, governments are printing money like crazy. They're pretty much being really ruthless with money, and people lost faith in money. So the only other options they have is either like gold, silver, or crypto. I mean, unless you want to buy chickens and grow farms, which is something I really recommend. But unless if you don't feel like becoming a farmer or a hippie or Amish or something, the next best thing is buying some crypto. But yeah, I would definitely put your number one priority at having your own food production. That's way safer investment in my opinion than crypto, and the best investment is investment in yourself or your health or your food, because the money you make, you'll end up giving it back to doctors in 10 years. Because most of us live really unhealthy, but that's something You don't realize until you start digging really deeply. But that's a story for a different live stream. For this one, we'll just talk only finance, and not having any options for like I just don't believe any fiat currency. Fiat currency is any currency like euros, yen, dollars, francs, British pounds, anything that's a government-owned currency, which is all currencies pretty much. So, and people just don't believe in governments anymore. They're just being selfish bastards. So, the game has to stop. You know, it's gonna stop sooner or later. People are gonna start slowly waking up. So I don't think people are gonna go back to gold. It's pretty heavy, but it's becoming so easy to fake. You have tungsten, also called wolfram, which happens to weight the same amount as gold. Like, well, there's a 0.5% difference, so they can just take a brick of wolfram and paint it, gold plate it, and it's really hard to tell if it's gold or not because the weight is almost identical and everything is almost identical. You have to have like really expensive devices to tell if something is not gold or not. Like device costs, a good device that will tell you if a piece of metal is actually gold is like what, a couple $1,000. A high quality one, a low quality one will probably there's a good chance you'll get scammed. So unless governments make gold standard, which is most likely not going to happen, you don't really have much choice. So that's why everyone's like so crazy about crypto. But crypto is just irrelevant. For me, just like old people invest in blue chip stocks. If you're young, I would invest in blue chips in crypto. Blue chips are your quote unquote safe investments, but keep in mind crypto is extremely high risk investment, so it's a safe high risk investment. It's not like you're buying Apple stock or Tesla stock. So other than maybe obviously owning some companies which are going with the trend, like Tesla's going with the trend, McDonald's is actually going with the trend. They're making everything with robots now, so they have a huge possibility and more profit. But I don't morally believe in McDonald's, and I don't morally believe in Tesla. Not anymore. I used to believe, but that changed recently. I actually did a video about that. So you're left with, in my opinion, like what, Bitcoin, which is the most well-known, best brand, and the only crypto that's the longest existing crypto. So it's pretty hard. It's pretty almost impossible. It'll disappear. Then you have Ethereum, which is also the oldest smart non-payment only crypto because Bitcoin is only for payments. Then Ethereum gives you options for making virtual contracts and making if then statements, kind of like programming language. Then you have like your big companies. So just like you have your big Teslas in stock market, you have Binance and crypto, which is the most well-known monopoly. And crypto, they have they're really popular with the derivatives trading, which is like betting on the prices. They're really popular with spot trading, which is actual like exchange offices are exchanging different currencies within crypto. They're really popular with pretty much any branch of crypto, and they do a pretty good job. So that's why they're so popular, and they have good branding, good marketing. Just been around forever, really trustworthy. Well, from the perspective of most people, if they're actually trustworthy, I would say that they are. Can I check? Do I know the guy in person? No, I don't. Let's see what else we have, and maybe one privacy coin, but I have Dash. I bought it forever ago at a really high price, so I'm just holding that because I got in at a bad time. I wasn't as experienced in 2017 or early 2018, so I chose Dash. I'm gonna stick with my decision. Some people think Monero is a blue chip because it's the best privacy coin so far. So those are your pretty much blue chips in crypto, and I would say it's better to start building up your.
Martin messaged us. Same here. Vibe was perfect. Time bubble.
Yeah, we didn't have much experience. Most of us got in around 2017, just like I did, and fucked up early 2019. I mean, early 2018 when the bubble popped. Now, I was lucky. I made a lot of money in my Vibe. The issue is, I didn't exit to fiat. I exited to other coins. So I actually bought Vibe at like less than a cent. Made 300 times return. which means a lot of money. Exited Y. I sold all my Vibe at like $2.50. Was really really lucky, and smart, and mostly lucky. Had I guess just had the connections to buy at the ICO that had people who recommended it. I like the CEO. But the issue is, and the mistake I made is, I sold all my Y for Bitcoin. Instead of cashing it out to my bank, I purchased Dash, Ripple, everything, all the mainstream coins. It's called greed. It's called greed. Unless you're born rich and come from a rich family, greed is a lesson that you have to learn yourself. Because your parents probably have taught you zero things about greed. But we can talk about that a lot in another video. So, two things I really want to talk about in another video is, what did I say? I want to talk about greed and something else. I'll watch the video and remind myself and make a video for you guys this week. Thank you for sticking around. If you're around at this time on the weekends, late evening European time or midday American time, hop on, let's chat. This is what I like doing. Just talking without scripts, without research, and telling guys my crazy experience in the years I've been in crypto and all the time I spent recently and years back working on myself. So those are things I'm mostly interested in, if you haven't figured out already. So if you're interested in having money, which all of us are, and most importantly interested in being happy, that's what I really want to talk about. But having money does help. But most important thing is not having money, is knowing how to handle money. Because money will come sooner or later, but will you keep it or lose it? That's the question I want to ask you. Knowing how to handle money is more important than having money. Because you see rich people going broke all the time and becoming rich again. It's like you have many millionaires losing everything and being millionaires again, over and over again. So it's not about having money, it's about knowing how to use money and handle it. That's what I really want to talk about. Thank you guys for watching.